Woohoo! Sexy football, glops, Gegenpressing style. Welcome back to Big Herb the Nerd, and today we've got a very special episode for you. So at the end of season roundup, we'll go through and do a bit of team analysis, have a look at the players, work out who we want to keep, who we want to sell, have a look at who maybe has performed well but we didn't notice, or who has performed badly and we didn't notice, as we look to try and get ready to sell certain players and get the scouting going for some of those new players we want to bring in. So, if you are new to the channel, you will not know, but I set up my own views for each of the sections of the team. So we have a defending, a midfield, and attacking screen view, which gives you just the stats and analysis on those players. And we're not looking at their attributes, we're looking at the stats, actually how they performed in the game. So let's get in and have a look. We will start with the goalies. We don't set up one with the goalies. But if you look, this is just my Big Herb team selection information. You'll see that they almost played the same games each. So let's have a look at how the goalies did. With goalies, you do come in and go to stats. So we're looking at these big circles here, same as last year. So Lourdes Karius first we will look at. He played in 36 matches, 25 he won. Big chunk of those were Premier League games, 22, that's good. Conceded 34 in the Premier League, and then 6 clean sheets. So if we look at the stats down here, then we've got, he's faced 169 shots, saved 70% of them, held only 45, which means he parries quite a lot. Would like to see that much higher up around here. 70% not bad. Goals conceded 51 overall, 51 goals from 36 games. Not exactly a great record, is it? As we're saying up here, we can look at the individual cups in which he played in. He only got 9 clean sheets out of 36 as well. That doesn't look good for Karius, or whatever we want to call him. Mignolet then, let's have a look at his stats. Okay, this looks, just looking at these circles, looks a bit better straight away. So he had 39 games, conceded 36 goals. Much better, much better. 12 clean sheets overall. He had 10 in the Premier League. Only 6 goals conceded in 16 apps in the Premier League. Wow. Did not realise he was that good, old Mignolet. I did play Karius in the first half of the season, which was not our best half, but was that in part down to the goalie being more solid at the back? He faced 167 shots, or 2 shots less, saved 78% of them, and held 70. So he's held almost 50% of those again, which is a much better ratio. Only conceding now 36 goals. So out and out, Mignolet is the #1 goalie. He will be staying in for next year. I kind of wanted to bring a new goalie in, but for one more season, it doesn't seem worth it. But that was the goalie. So we know that Mignolet is going to be our #1 next year. Karius is actually wanted by PSG as well. Oh, 23 million. What's going on? But we don't care about that. So let's get in and let's look at the individual positions then. So we'll start from the back. We'll look at the defenders. So I will set up my Big Herb defender view. So what I will do is also, I did this last year and I might just revamp it, is drop another video about building tactics and the team analysis views and the things I use. And I'll also upload them to the Steam Workshop once the game goes officially live, which it should be today, because this video will come out on the 10th. So yes, today I will try and get all my views up. So if you want to get in, go in, search Big Herb the Nerd on Steam Workshop and download those views from there. And it just gives you these views here. You can set them up yourself, they're not difficult, and you should set them up, or tweak them at least, for your own playing style. As you'll see here, I have defenders, midfield and attackers, because I play 4 at the back, 2 in the middle who I want to do certain roles, and then I have the 3 or 4 in attacking roles. I want to judge the analysis of those areas of play, rather than necessarily just in positions. But the more you use them, the more you get used to them. And obviously this year we've added in a bit of injury susceptibility and dynamics, just to see what that's like. So here we have the defenders. These are all our defenders. We've got their ability, potential, age. I won't go through each of these. Like I said, I'll do that in an analysis video. But let's have a look who played the most games. So Romagnoli played the most games for us, closely followed by Lovren. Obviously you get some players that are included in here that didn't play in those positions. You should know that and be able to ignore them from certain things. Let's have a look at the big stats for them. So key tackles. Romagnoli and Lovren up there with 67 and 52. Gomez playing half the games, getting about half the key tackles. That's good to see. So centre-back wise, looking fairly strong. Robinson and Mallow in there with 22 and 20. Mallow having a lot more games than Robinson though. And then Nathaniel Klein in there with 17. We'll see how bad Klein is. I have a prejudice against him that I've brought into this. So we'll see how he carries on. Because it might be that I get proven wrong. So we have tackles completed. That's always just fun to see total how many tackles have been made. So we have the tackles completed on it. It's always just, I like that one. It's just a big number because it all depends on how many games they're in. But that's how many tackles have been made. Dia making quite a lot there. But the big one for defenders. Okay, so let's have a look at the tackle completion ratio. Big one for defenders. So we've got Gomez up there highest, 86%. 85, 84, 82 for Lovren. Not as high as the other guys. Whereas our fullbacks around the 70s. Klein actually in the highest. Mallow, Robinson and Moreno. So in the 70s. So they don't hit all their tackles. Which is a bit worrying because a lot of those goals came from down the wings. So that kind of makes sense. Tackles per game. Robinson, Klein, Moreno. There we go. So these guys putting in the most tackles. Robinson, that's a great amount actually. 7 tackles per game. On average. Moreno in there as well. So the fullbacks are going in for more tackles. They're just not hitting them all. That's not too bad. Interceptions. Expect more of these from midfield sometimes. But Romagnoli and Lovren there. 488, 472. It's a lot of interceptions made by those two centre-backs. Proves how useful they were to us. D in 300. So we got Mallow 200. Gomez on 194. Again, about half of where these guys were. Actually a bit off half. Moreno, Robinson, Klein. Not making as many, but not in as many games. So, again, interceptions is a total number, but interceptions per 90 minutes, that's the one that gives you the idea of who's putting the most in. So, yeah, Lovren and Romagnoli up there. Gomez not far behind with D8. Could, if you look at that, see 8 per game compared to the 10 of the others. So, he's got some way to go in terms of interceptions. He probably is down as a defensive centre-back. I know he's a ball-playing defender. Interesting. And Klein, Mallow, Robinson, Moreno not doing great either. Those sitting on about the 5. Key headers. Romagnoli leading the charts there. Lovren 10 or so, but what, 9 behind him. Header completion ratio, that makes sense. Romagnoli the best. Lovren up there. 70% from the wide men. That's not too bad. Where's Gomez? Gomez down at 69%. Ooh. Heading stats 14. How tall is he? Can't see. 188 centimetres. I should put it in feet. Actually, he's not small. Not great at heading. Something we could be putting him on for training wise. Gomez. Trying to get his headers up. Could be his anticipation actually. Anticipation 13. Oh no, that's not bad for it. And even decisions and determination. Interesting. Gomez not that great at heading. Here we go. Challenges. Lovren and Romagnoli right there. Gomez is well up there, but just not winning as many. Okay, mistakes leading to goals. Big one for defenders. 3 from Romagnoli is quite a lot of mistakes for our main centre back to be making. Yeah, 3 mistakes. Moreno with 2 mistakes leading to goals. I mean, he's not playing that much anymore. 2 man of match performances from Romagnoli as well. So he seems to have a split season. He's only 23. Concentration 15. Should be better. Decisions 13. I'll have to watch that. Hopefully that comes down. That's a bit high. Higher than I'd like to see. 3 mistakes coming from your centre back. In terms of overall mistakes, we've got Romagnoli up there. And Mallow sitting on the same. Moreno and Lovren down here on 41. Look at the difference between Romagnoli and Lovren. Difference between being 23 and 28, eh? So Lovren here. Someone I was thinking maybe phasing out. We might need to keep him in. Actually, and Gomez, if you double up his games, would be on 40. So Romagnoli makes mistakes. Got to watch out for that one. And then for the defenders, just a couple of fun ones. So we've got the passing completions, how many passes completed per game, and the pass completion ratio. They're in the 70s. They're all in the 70s. That's not bad. Just wanted to check they're not giving the ball away. And cross completion as well for the wide men. I always love it when you've got 1 cross completed by Romagnoli, so he's got 50%. So we've got Mallow on 11%. 11% is about right. 10 or 11% is good for crossing. Moreno on 9. Robinson on 9. Klein on 7. So Klein hasn't shone out as being great. He hasn't shone out as being crap either, which is what I was hoping. Yellow cards, Mallow with the most, Moreno second. Moreno, 34 appearances, I suppose. Robin only on 11, 10. So they are, and that's probably coming from that get stuck in that we've got on there. And that's where the red cards have come from as well. Mallow with 2, Robinson with 1, Robin only with 1. Not too bad. Something we have to just take sort of with a pinch of salt because of the tactic that we play. And then we've added in here just a bit of happiness. So they're all pretty happy at the moment. Social groups is the one. If we were looking to get rid of some, what social group do they sit in? Let's open that a bit. So I'm thinking maybe Klein, but Klein's in the core social group could cause a problem. I've just realised I've put the wrong one in. It's not that one. It's not the happiness. I don't care about how happy they are. For this, I want to look at where they sit. So if we're looking at Klein and wanting to sell him, he's in as a highly influential player in the core social group. So he's not. Yeah, it could be worse. It could be better. It could be worse. So he could cause problems if he doesn't get what he wants when we come to selling him. But other than that, I think we're okay. We got Sarr and Trent Alexander-Arnold. I've brought up to the first team as backups now for next season. With Klein going, Trent Alexander-Arnold will pop in as the backup for Mallow. So pretty happy with defenders. So let's move on to the midfield. So with the midfielders, we have a lot more to go through because obviously we're looking at those 2 central midfielders we had. They obviously help with defending and getting forward and closing down. So we've had to use the full width and some of the screen. But these are all the midfielders that are marked as midfielders. Some we'll ignore for now because they're defenders, or that they're in the attacking section and we'll use them as part of those. People like Coutinho, Lallana, where they played mainly in the attacking third, not in those central 2 midfielders positions, essentially. So let's take a look at appearances. So Eric Dier, 38, Chan 35. We've then got Henderson 26, Wijnaldum 25, Lallana 20, Milner 13. Minutes per game. Let's have a look at the goals scored from these areas. So 13 goals came from Jorginho Wijnaldum. Bloody lot of goals to be coming from that central midfield area. I know he played in that attacking role as well, but he played in the main in that central midfield role. So a lot of goals coming from there. Chan with 10 as well. Lallana played more attacking. Hendo 5. Dier only the 1. Dier truly the defensive midfielder there. Assists. Wijnaldum having 8. Again, Wijnaldum just coming out as an out-and-out machine. Dier only with 4. Henderson only with 4. So that second role, that box-to-box midfielder, maybe doesn't need a box-to-box midfielder because we've got enough players in there to work that. Oh, yeah, and Chan only with 2. So the guys that usually been playing there, we've not been playing Wijnaldum really. Second half of the season, we've been playing a mix of Dier, Henderson, and Chan, and those guys are not actually getting any assists on the ball. They're supposed to be box-to-box midfielders, so they're supposed to be getting forward. Some of them getting goals, but not adding to the chances created. So yeah, if we look at assists per 90 minutes, Wijnaldum's up there, 0.27. The rest of the guys right down the bottom. If you look at chances created per 90 minutes as well, who have we got there? Wijnaldum again, straight up there. Chan, not far behind, 0.43. Dier and Henderson right down the bottom. Key passes, Wijnaldum again. Wijnaldum just coming top of a lot of these. Chan up there as well, 61. Henderson 46, Dier 22. Dier we'll let off. I'm hoping he's tackling is where he comes into this. Key passes per 90 minutes. Wijnaldum up there again. Chan, Hendo, he's not done too bad. Pass completion ratio, anyone sitting too low? Coutinho actually down there at 74. We'll do that later, but no, Lallana the worst at just under 80%. The rest of them sitting in the 80s. That's always good to see. Right, key tackles. Eric Dier, 11. Here we go. This week comes into own. Chan and Henderson with 4 each. I imagine it because these guys swap, but Dier always plays in that holding role, so I expect him to have more. Tackle completion ratio. Oh, Grujic all the way up there. He's 5 appearances. Emre up there, 85%. Higher Dier, 84. Look at that, 254 tackles won. Tackles per game. Look at that, 6.86 tackles per game. Eric Dier. Henderson 4.9, nowhere near. Interceptions, Eric Dier comes massively top of that as well. Especially even on interceptions per 90 minutes. 8 compared to the next closest, Emre at 5. Eric Dier has been a beast in that role, in that building midfielder role. Fouls. Okay, we'd expect kind of the same. Mistakes. Okay, nothing too shocking there. Key headers. Dia, yes. Surprised not to see some of the other guys a bit higher. Chan up there with 20. Header win percentage. Eric Dia, 76%. That could be higher. What is his heading? Heading's 15. He's got decent heading. We'll have to see what we can do with that. Aerial challenges. Yeah, he's putting himself about 5 a game. Lana's also thrown himself in there. Let's just have a look at the shots per 90 minutes. Who's taking the shots from those guys? So Emery Chan 1 a game. Ronaldo 1.05. Lallana. So these guys are taking shots. Shots on target 40s. Robinson with 50% there. Lallana 46. So yeah, Chan 44, 43. Not great for shot on target percentage. Maybe you need to watch that we definitely set those guys on to shoot less often. So they're not shooting from outside the area. Cross completion ratio, Eric Dia 25%. That's nice. He only did 2 crosses though. Ronaldo 20%, 13 crosses in. That's a good ratio. That's a real good ratio actually. Coutinho, yeah. If you look at Coutinho, obviously he'd done 98, 16%. That's pretty good. The rest of the guys not really putting them in. Dribbles per game, they're not really running. Ronaldo 5 player of the matches. I feel like I've let Ronaldo down by not playing him as much this season. And then yellows 10 for Dia, but no reds. 3 reds for Chan. He did get himself sent off a lot. Right, so if we look at the hierarchy then, who have we got? We've got team leaders. Oh, you can't see the bloody names when you do that. Okay, so we know. See, my thinking is Milner's run his course, but he's a team leader, so I can't make him go. I have to make. He has to want to go. Ronaldo we keep in. It's whether we get rid of Chan. I do like him, but I've got Chan, Dia, Henderson, and Ronaldo. I've got 4 midfielders for 2 places. Although Ronaldo doesn't quite fit in that central midfield role. He wants to be an advanced playmaker support. So we may have to look at the roles. But I'm quite happy with the midfield. I don't think there's much to do there. I don't think there's anyone to come back in either. So it might be that we lose someone. We might lose Chan. We might not bring anyone else in. If we do, I'll probably go for another ball-winning midfielder. Because then I've got Dia and a proper ball-winning midfielder as backup with then Henderson and Wijnaldum to slot into that other role. Which is the box-to-box at the moment. But we might change it up. Maybe make it Carolero. But that's the midfielders. So not much to do in there. Pretty happy with the performance. Maybe lose one player. Maybe bring in a ball-winning midfielder. But now let's get on to the sexy side. The attackers. So here we have our attacking players. Those guys that play in that attacking midfield position or across the top 3 for that season. And we have our special attacking view for them. So Mane making the most appearances with 50. Followed by Coutinho, Salah on 41. Sturridge on 40. Good amount of games out of Sturridge. 40 games. The whole season. Firmino down on 26. Wijnaldum 25. Lallana. Wijnaldum will probably ignore for this one. Milner and Chamberlain. We definitely will. Chamberlain, terrible. Didn't get any games. He was useless. So let's have a look. Average rating wise. Salah the top up there. Coutinho 2nd. Wijnaldum 3rd. Sturridge 4th. Wijnaldum again coming up. Really did not do him justice this season. Goals. Look at this for goals. 39 goals for Mohamed Salah. And 36 for Sturridge. 14 then for Mane, 13 for Coutinho, 13 for Wijnaldum. Origi got 10 out on loan. That's not bad. Firmino only on 8 from 26 games. So Wijnaldum had 25 games, got 13. Firmino, 26 games, 8. Says everything. Lallana, 7 goals. But that's a top amount of goals to be coming out of there. Goals per game, Salah up there, Sturridge, Wijnaldum again 3rd. Lallana, actually not bad for goals per game. Comes above Coutinho. Shots per 90 minutes. Sturridge having the most. Sorry, that's shots on target per 90 minutes. Sturridge with the most. Salah 2nd. Coutinho 3rd. Big jump off there. The 2 strikers obviously having the most. Shots on target percentage. 60%. Salah. Where's Sturridge? 54% for Sturridge. Salah out and out better for shots on target ratio. Mane even beating him with 55. Well, a load of Mane's were crap, and it was the bloody near post, but that's why he didn't get more goals. Offsides, I expect to see Salah up there. I expect to see Sturridge much higher, actually. Sturridge holding back and beating. He's got the pace to beat the offside trap on that poacher roll. Salah didn't play it as well. He's quick, though. Real quick. But I think prefers playing that inside forward role. Assists. Mane, 22 assists. Coutinho, 22 assists. Coutinho, look at that. And they got 13 and 14 goals each. Sturridge got 15. Salah got 14. Amazing amount of assists coming out. Assists per game. Coutinho tops that one. Oh, Chamberlain comes in there. Second from his 6 appearances. 3 assists. I still don't like him. Mane not far behind, 45. Milner on 42. But he only played a few games as well. Sturridge 40. Not 0.4, sorry, not 40. Chances created per 90 minutes. Coutinho. Look at that. Oxlade-Chamberlain, again, not far behind. Salah. Lallana. Mane. It's good to see those guys that should have been doing it. Firmino not appearing anywhere on these, which is interesting. And even when you're looking at chances per 90 minutes, it takes out the fact that he didn't play a lot of games. Still not creating a lot of chances. Coutinho with the most key passes, way above everyone else. Key passes per 90 minutes, obviously Coutinho. Lallana second. It's good for Lallana. Wijnaldum third. Wijnaldum again proving his case. Hey, Chamberlain keeps popping up high on these actual scores. Maybe I didn't give him a fair crack of the whip. He's only 24. I'm thinking. Passes completed by 90 minutes. Lallana would burn up there. Lallana, Wijnaldum. Pass completion ratio. Milner up the top. Wijnaldum the highest of the guys that played the most. Oh, I don't expect to see many tackles from these guys. Or interceptions. Oh, wow. But tackle completion ratio. Daniel Sturridge, 91%. Highest in the team, I believe. Tackles per game. Yeah, we don't expect to see these guys up there. Mistakes. Coutinho made the most. Played the most games, though. Firmino with 57. Same as Wijnaldum. Mane, 55. But played double the amount of games. Salah. So it's that central role is where they cause the mistakes. 57 and 57 for Firmino. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Header 1 percentage. Gruitch got a good one. Firmino wins a lot of headers. Cross completion. No one was beating Wijnaldum. Coutinho up there with 16. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain up there with 16 as a winger. He did only... Oh no, he's completed 13 crosses in his six games. That's pretty good. Where's Mane? Because Mane's all the way down here. 8% for Mane. As our winger, Oxlade-Chamberlain actually puts more balls into the box. Dribbles per game. Oxlade-Chamberlain again tops that. Mane second. Oh, so Oxlade-Chamberlain maybe not as bad as I thought he is. He's not as good as Mane, we know that. But I should be giving him more of a crack when it comes in. And Firmino really just not impressing me. I wonder if Firmino's one that we try and get rid of. He is highly influential. But I do like this one as well. The penalty scored ratio. Who's missing the penalties? Firmino only scored half of his. Sturridge scored half. And Wijnaldum only had one missed. Terrible. And then obviously we've got injury susceptibility as well. So where is Firmino? Firmino is... Oh, he's only on average. Some of these guys on high and very high. That's one of Oxlade-Chamberlain's problems. He's always bloody injured as well. But looking at the strikers, I'm pretty happy. I think we'll keep Bedwoodburn back, at least for the start of the season. See how he gets on. I don't think we need Divock Origi. And I might try and get rid of Firmino, which I know will piss a lot of Liverpool fans off. But Lallana has come out better. Chamberlain, if I keep him, is a much better backup for the right-hand side, which gives me more flexibility. I could easily get rid of Firmino and bring in someone else. Or it solves the problem of Salah on the left. I can have Salah on the right. Oh, I can't have Salah on the right because of Mane. Salah on the left. Coutinho through the middle. Sturridge up top. Mane on the right with Oxlade-Chamberlain coming in. I've got Lallana as backup then for the central or the left. So the only thing I could sell Firmino and get a better striker in to play backup to Sturridge. Because if Sturridge is out, I'm putting Salah in, but I could be putting a better striker in. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. Okay, but that wraps up the team analysis for that season. The season roundup, shall we say. Let's have a look. What should we put on? Average rating. There we go. So we may be looking to get rid of a few players. Possibly Firmino out. I know he's wanted. Possibly Chan out. Then I think that's it for out. Maybe bring in a goalie if I can get a real top quality one, but not necessarily needed. Mignolet's stats are quite good. Klein we might be getting out as well. Maybe bring in a ball-winning midfielder. Maybe bring in a striker. But I'm going to think on it. And I'll have the pre-season, and I shall see you back next episode for the first episode of the second season, which will be our last season as Liverpool manager before we look to take on another challenge as we get used to FM18. But I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please do smash the like button. If you are new, please do subscribe, and I shall see you next time for another Gegenpressing style episode. Thanks. Bye.